Yeah, 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 yeah.
Alright, let's just jump right into it. I'm god awful with introductions.
Who is this nigga?
I'm gonna be talking about dunking, which honestly is almost primarily the reason I got into the sport of basketball. I just love dunking. It's the greatest display of athleticism in the sport. It's literally like the whole reason people hate All-Star Weekend is because they're always disappointed with the dunk contest. That's what we're all there to see. That's what we want to see. And so this video is about the greatest dunkers in the point guard position. I'm going to be doing a video on all the positions, starting with point guard. And let's get right into it. Blank piece of paper. I'm just going to be going off the dome. I'm going to obviously miss some guys. Honestly, this position's pretty weak because they're smaller guys, but at the same time, it's like you would have to say it's the most spectacular position in dunking because it is the smallest dude. And the guy who I consider the best ever, he just defies the position in terms of what he can do, the way he yams it, the way he dunks, like the ferocity. Honestly, I think it's a no-brainer who the greatest dunker ever for the position is. At the same time, there was another guy who could have been on that exact same level who's just hit with injuries, unfortunately. So we'll start off with some other guys. You see, for dunking, I have personal criteria. Like I try to be objective as I possibly can be for a very subjective thing. Like dunk, what does that mean? We don't, like, anybody could have the greatest dunker. What do you look for in dunking? For me, there's flair, power, you know what I'm saying? Posters, that's about it, I guess. Yeah, flair, power, and posters. So flair, that includes your like dunk contest ability, the way you dunk, the variety, your style. Whereas power is like straightforward. That's, in my opinion, I rate power pretty highly, as you'll see. Like I love the ferocity of the way like a dunker throws it down. Like I don't care how nice your dunk is, if you're not jamming it down. Like personally, aside from the actual aesthetics of a dunk, I love seeing the ball hit the ground hard and then like go right back into the sky. Like a good example of that would be like Vince Carter, his alley on the Clippers. You gotta watch that clip. Like it's my personally, there's also Jeff Green though. Not Jeff Green. Yeah, is it Jeff Green? Gerald Green. His alley windmill probably the GOAT. But like, you know what I mean? Like power, I put high. Posters, of course. Like, what else is there to say about that? It's just yamming on someone. You know what I'm saying? That's it. As like as the pinnacle of dunks. But the thing is, especially for point guards, they don't really get many posters for that same reason. They're usually smaller dudes. So the guys who do get those posters, they rate pretty highly too. So first guy I want to talk about, since we're talking about flair, who I think probably had the most flair ever, is Steve fucking Franchise. That dude, if you watch his dunk contest, like he was in the 2000 dunk contest with Vince, and like he just got lost in time because of Vince. So did T-Mac, for that matter. Anybody who's in that contest, doesn't matter what you fucking did. You're in the contest with Vince. That's all anybody remembers. But this dude, Steve Francis, bro. Steve Francis, like, he did that the double pump like clean, like that thing like clean, you know what I'm saying? Clean. Like nobody's ever done it. Like Derrick Rose maybe reached that level, but like Steve Francis, like, and he's the kind of guy who will be on a fast break and he'll bounce the ball up and then dunk it. You know what I'm saying? Like some street ball shit. You can give a fuck. This dude, and the thing that kind of I should say kind of mars the way I look at him, same with another guy I'm going to talk about, is that he had insane handle with the ball, right? He's just a total package in terms of flash from that 2000s era of ISO play. He had the whole fucking package. Like, we look back at Iverson. Okay, imagine Iverson, all right, but give him Derrick Rose's athleticism. That's what Steve Francis was. This guy literally had like a 40, what is it? Way over a 40 vertical. This guy dunking was insane. But he also had the handle. Like, it was a whole package. So like, it's hard for me to separate him in that capacity. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, he definitely, if I would have to say purely in terms of style and flair, the way you dunk, I would have to rate him as the best ever, Steve Francis. Another guy from that same era is Baron Davis. Dude, this dude was a tank. Like, I don't even know if it's right to call him a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude was built like, I don't even know, dude. This guy was just pure fucking power. Like, he's pure power on the court. There's nothing you could do about him. There's another guy that also had that crisp handle too. He could do it all. Yeah, so Baron Davis, he's also, ironically, his most famous dunk was on Kirilenko in the playoffs, the We Believe era. Personally, I find that dunk overrated as shit. Like, I legitimately do. But that's like what he's most famous for. And I just thought it was a moment thing for me. Like, I don't really, like, aesthetically, it doesn't really do much for me. But I guess because it was on Andrei Kirilenko, who was like a big time shot blocker back then, that's why. And it was in the playoffs, and then he had the shirt. Like, yeah, so it's like a whole thing. But like, personally, the dunk itself, I don't really rate that high. But yeah, Baron Davis definitely deserves a mention. He had that power, like. And then we got Kevin Johnson from the 90s. Kevin Johnson was on the Suns, and he was like the prototype of the guards we see today. Like, nowadays, it's like seeing an athletic point guard is nothing. The John Walls, Derrick Rose, Westbrooks, John Morant, they're all around now. But like back then, it was like KJ. KJ was that dude. He was a prototype. Dude was like yamming on on Hall of Fame centers like Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? That guy was dunking hard as fuck. And so Kevin Johnson definitely deserves a mention. Kevin Johnson deserves a mention, but I wouldn't really rate him highly in any specific category. Like, his whole thing was just being a prototype. He was like the original power point guard prototype. That's why I really rate him. Then we have Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson, he's a controversial pick because, I mean, he either has the combine record for the vertical or very close to it. I think it's some dude, DJ Stevens, something like that. And some people like think Michael Jordan had a 48 vertical or Wilt had a 50 vertical. Like, people legitimately think this dude Wilt had a 50 vertical. That's not even, okay, I'm not even getting into that. That shit, like, I'm not even getting into that. People legitimately believe, they'll argue with you that, like, even though it's physically impossible. I said I wasn't gonna get into it. I got into it. I got mad. You know, I'm only human. But I'm still stuck on that Wilt shit, man. Who was I talking about? Nate. Dude, Nate robbed a couple dudes in the dunk contest. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, Iggy, for sure, he robbed straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because he's small guy doing insane dunks. That's why. That's legitimately what it is. That was his whole thing. But like, Nate didn't really do much, like, in-game dunking wise. Like, he's more famous for like blocking big dudes. Like Yao, he blocked straight up. LeBron, I think he blocked too. Like, his blocks, like his displays of athleticism. Like, Nate legitimately has an argument for being the pound for pound most athletic player of all time when you think about it. Like, I think he killed like every combine record. But like, personally, his dunking style, it just didn't do much for me. But he needs the mention for sure. And we got Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is, like, in terms of just peak dunking ability, Derrick Rose has an argument for being the best ever. It's just his resume is very short because obviously it was cut short from his injury, but like in terms of like he has some of the sickest like on Goran Dragic, that's like one of the best point guard dunks of all fucking time. It's a straight classic. All the dunks he did on the Heat, like he dude floated. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like Derrick Rose, he's more known for his like layup package because like his body control was just out of control. Like out of control. The way he would just like contort his body and stuff. Like it's like he was floating like he's in the water, you know what I'm saying? But he had that power too. It's just his resume doesn't stack up compared to who I consider the best ever, which is obviously Russell Westbrook. What is there to say about Russell Westbrook? What is there to say about Russell Westbrook? You know what I'm saying? Like watch, like dude, Russell Westbrook has probably a 10-minute compilation of any random year. Craziest dunks you'll ever see from the position, period. I don't think he should be considered a point guard, you know, because he's one of these dudes that he's an undersized shooting guard essentially, right? Even though he has all the assists, but he doesn't dunk like a point guard. You're not gonna find another point guard aside from Derrick Rose, maybe that approaches the way he dunks. Like this dude Westbrook, he has the power on fucking lock down. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, like off the top of my head, in the playoffs against Kawhi Leonard, blows right by him, dunks on the whole fucking team. Okay. Curry, fast break. I don't know what he was thinking, yammed on him. He had the one dunk on the Lakers where he grabs the board. It was like this is all you need to know about Russell Westbrook. He grabs the board over the bigs, runs the whole length of the court, beats everybody, and dunks as hard as humanly fucking possible. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about Westbrook that kind of brings him down is he lacked a lot of flair. He's like LeBron in that sense. Like he will go for his traditional tomahawk, and personally, I can't get enough of it. Like it's the most powerful tomahawk of any point guard of all time. Not even fucking close. Not even fucking close. It's like a LeBron tomahawk in a 6'3" frame. He's a mini LeBron in that sense. But sometimes he'll get like comfortable and he'll have like a little reverse. You know, he'll just show off. And another thing that really solidified for him being the GOAT, what I really rate highly about dunkers is how they do a windmill. You know what I'm saying? Actually, all of these guys could do windmills, right? But the thing is, are they able to do the full extension windmill? That's the difference. Not many players can do the full extension windmill for whatever reason. Either they don't have the body control, they don't have large enough hands. It looks ugly. Like look at a Joel Embiid windmill. It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a chicken wing. I don't know what the hell that is. It's not a windmill. A broken windmill is what it is. But Westbrook, yeah, there's one. He did it. He did a full extension windmill, straight Vince Carter shit. You know? So he had everything. The only thing he didn't have is Westbrook never went to the dunk contest. He just said it's not him. And personally, doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter at all. He's still the greatest by fucking far. Greatest point guard dunker of all time, Russell fucking Westbrook.